Tropical storm Ian, which formed late Friday over the central Caribbean Sea, could threaten Florida as a major hurricane early next week after cutting across western Cuba, forecasters said. The 5 p.m. update today, Saturday, from the National Hurricane Center appeared to keep Palm Beach County out of the cone of potential impacts. Forecasters were predicting a landfall north of Tampa early Thursday morning. Governor Ron DeSantis on Saturday expanded a state of emergency to all 67 Florida counties in preparation for Ian, which is expected to become Hurricane Ian in the coming days. The threat posed by the tropical storm Ian requires that timely precautions are taken to protect the communities, critical infrastructure, and general welfare of Florida, the governor said in his amended executive order issued Saturday afternoon. Tropical storm Ian is forecasted to become a major hurricane before making landfall along Florida's west coast, he said. At the public supermarket at Okeechobee Boulevard and North Jog Road on Saturday, the store had run out of cases of bottled water and lemonade by noon. By 3 p.m., when the water was restocked, customers swarmed the shelves. Some residents, such as 24-year-old James Cross of West Palm Beach, were taking the storm in stride. I'm not really doing anything to prepare. I grew up in Florida, so I think I'm pretty much always prepared for a hurricane, and there's nothing that I've seen making me think this one will be special, Cross said. I'm just going to get some water and forget about it until someone tells me I can't come into work. National Weather Service meteorologist Sammy Hadi noted that Ian, which was about 250 miles southeast of Jamaica at 5 p.m., was starting to get stronger. The storm was moving west at 16 miles per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. A hurricane warning was in effect for Grand Cayman Island and a tropical storm watch for Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Crews in Tampa on Florida's west coast began to remove debris and clear drains before the potential storm to prevent drainage issues and chances of flooding. Ian is expected to generate 2 to 4 inches of rain in parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, 4 to 8 inches in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and 6 to 10 inches in western and central Cuba, the center said. This rainfall could lead to flash flooding and mudslides in higher terrain areas, particularly in Jamaica and Cuba, forecasters said. Swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. The storm is starting to have more thunderstorms around its center. It is currently gradually strengthening, Haiti said. It's just to the southeast of Jamaica at the moment, and it's expected to continue moving west, northwest, across the Caribbean today before turning more northerly tomorrow and Monday. Weather forecasters were predicting a landfall north of Tampa as a hurricane at about 2 a.m. Thursday, Haiti said. It could make landfall farther to the south. It could make landfall farther to the west. At this point, really, no location is set in stone, he said. It's just a projected path at the moment. It could easily shift, and the average error 5 days out is 200 miles. And a landfall farther away from South Florida doesn't mean its effects won't be felt, Haiti said. So let's say if a track were to shift farther east, you'd expect Palm Beach County to have a little bit more impact. If the track were to continue to shift west, you would have a little bit less of an impact, he said. But you know, a hurricane's not a single point. Impacts extend hundreds of miles away from the center. So it's very important that you know that even if it makes landfall north of Tampa, there still could be effects well to the east. Sean Helton of Florida Power and Light said the area's chief power company is ready to restore power should it be lost. We are closely monitoring Tropical Storm Ian and preparing for potential impacts to Florida, Helton said. FP&L prepares year-round for storm season, and we will be ready to respond to whatever the system throws our way. Meteorologist Ryan Trochet of Tallahassee, weather forecaster Weather Tiger, predicted Ian only had a 5% chance of striking southeast Florida and the Keys. This scenario requires both a stronger, tough, and a more northward initial track in which the Ian is crossing west central Cuba on Monday and then races northeast across the Keys and South Florida on Tuesday, Truchette wrote. We'll see if there's any any hint of a swing back in this direction, but for now, the threat is diminishing in southeast Florida, he wrote. The governor's declaration frees up emergency protective funding and activates members of the Florida National Guard, his office said. His order stresses that there is a risk for storm surge, flooding, dangerous winds, and other weather conditions throughout the state. On Friday night, DeSantis declared the state of emergency to 24 counties ahead of what was then Tropical Depression number 9. DeSantis on Friday night asked for a federal pre-landfall emergency declaration to make key sources and support available to the state from the federal government. It requires the approval of President Biden. White House officials confirmed late Friday that FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell had spoken to DeSantis about the pending storm. Ian is the 9th named storm of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. A storm is given a name after it reaches wind speeds of at least 39 miles per hour.